Welcome to the Pattern People, where we decode the subconscious programs and patterns behind everyday events so that you can transform your life from the inside out. I'm Iranius Susan. My key interests are around past lives, body decoding, and relationship dynamics, including all the subconscious programming that fits in with those. I've been helping people to transform their lives from the inside out for over 40 years.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Yasamika, otherwise known as the Pattern Man. I specialise in subconscious patterning. About 35 years ago, I had to use my inquiring mind to find out what my patterns were because they were creating chaos in my reality. And since then, I've honed the skills of finding out the dots and joining the dots. See, when we track subconscious patterning, we have to find supposedly the dots, where they come from, how they're made, what do they do, and then we can join them up, and that gives us a whole picture. So that is what I major in, subconscious patterning.
Well, the dots today come from Robyn in the Bay of Plenty, who's written into us to let us know what's going on in her life. I get ignored at work. I suggest something and no one even seems to hear. Then this lady I work with went to the boss with the idea I came up with, and the boss gave her all the credit. Why do I never get heard, but someone else can steal my idea and everyone hears them? What am I doing wrong? Wow.
I can jump in there.
You can jump in there. Off you go.
First line, I'm invisible. I never get heard. We must always remember what we manifest is what our subconscious mind wants. The world we live in is the result of the fourth dimensional subconscious mind programs that we have. Robyn's talking about being invisible and unheard. That means her subconscious mind wants her to be invisible and unheard. That's what she's manifesting. So somewhere in there, she's got a program where she was visible once and she was heard as a child, and something's happened and the subconscious mind has stepped in and says, I'll protect you from persecution, the punishment, the remark, the judgment from when you said that or you were seen doing this. You know, this is the typical be seen and unheard matrix of our generation. And I'd say that's what's happening here. She was seen and she was heard, and from her parents or grandparents or someone close. Definitely, it's interesting. See, that's in the work reality. So the work reality reflects the school reality as a child. So between the ages of 5 to 7, where in New Zealand she would have started school, she might have been confident at school, expressive, happy child, and someone's come along, probably the school teacher, and says, settle down, seen and unheard, sit down on your mat, straight back, cross your legs and cross your arms and start up straight. And because her work reality is reflecting what happened to her at school.
Well, I can share a personal example there. Not so much around not being seen, and Robyn's not really saying nobody sees her. So I think that the issue she's looking at is more to do with the being heard part of it. But for myself, probably about age 6, I remember I was quite a chatty child. I was very good at doing my work and doing what I needed to do, but I found work easy. And so I'd get it done quickly, or it was not a challenge to me. And I would talk to the people next to me. My teacher did not like that at all. And in fact, she came one time, I remember with this very clearly, she came with a strip of sellotape, ripped it off the sellotape dispenser, stuck it across the back of my hand. And she said, if you keep talking, that's going over your mouth. So that taught me that there were times and places where I could not be heard. And one of them was school. And then that would also translate into going to work. So in my very early years as a school teacher, I am sitting in the staff room, the principal's doing a staff meeting about whatever it was, and people would pop up and offer suggestions. Well, I had learned, do not open your mouth until somebody tells you you can speak. And so one day he turned on me and he said, well, what have you got to say? And it really caught me on the hop. It really flummoxed me. And I realized at that point that I always had to have something prepared in the back of my mind to say in case somebody asked me something. So that's how the sellotape on the back of the hand translated to being an adult. And he did not want me to be unheard. He wanted me to be heard. But I had my subconscious programming had kicked in and had stopped me from being heard at that point.
With the work reality and the school reality, the subconscious mind works out that at school, we start at a particular time. Then we have a morning break, which is the same as the 10 o'clock break at work. Then we work, so there's your break. Then we work up to lunchtime, which is the same as school. And we have a lunchtime break, and then we go back to school or go back to work. Then we have a small break there for afternoon tea, and then we work a little bit longer, and that finishes the working day. Soon as we enter this pattern, work, change, work, rest, work again, the subconscious mind goes, I know that pattern. And it goes to your inside a building, because this is happening inside a classroom and inside a work reality. It goes to the inside a building away from home, and it goes, here it is, and we duplicate the same pattern. Now, at school, it obviously played out as we were youngsters. But we also, these subconscious programs, they're with us for life until we get rid of them. And it will also play out with you as an adult. So whatever happened at school, you will be duplicating it in your work reality. So if you were bullied at school, you will manifest being bullied in a work reality. If you were the teacher's pet at school, you will manifest being the boss's favorite. If you did homework at school, or you took your work home, you, as an adult, you will take your work home. You will duplicate this reality. And that's what's happening in this case.
It's interesting also because although school is the official time that we leave home and are in a place away from home, which we call the inside away from home reality, in a building away from home. Although school is the first time we supposedly physically do this, it could be that you were at kindergarten, preschool, play centre, daycare, or you went to somebody's place to be looked after while your parents were working, or even in the wider scope of friends and relatives. So something went on for you, Robyn, before the age of 7, and possibly even before the age of 5. School's an obvious example here, but there could well be something else. Most patterns tend to start from the home, but maybe yours started away from the home. Who knows? You went somewhere and something happened, and you learnt at that point that speaking up, saying what you thought, sharing your ideas was not a good thing to do because it went wrong. So if you think back into your memory bank, try and identify what was it that I remember from those very early days that I did, that my subconscious now wants to protect me from and makes me unheard because something went very wrong to a child's mind and you never wanted to be heard again. So that's something for you to have a look at and identify how that happened for you.
I got another one in there.
I've got another one too. What have you got?
Her subconscious mind, which is the white one, it's there to protect her from being heard. She's got it so good that her subconscious mind goes, even what you create, I want you to give the identity, which is solar plexus, to someone else. So here's this dead person here. Let's say she creates that. So in her past, she may have created something and she got into trouble for it, for whatever reason. So her subconscious mind goes, as an adult, give the credit to someone else. The last thing you want to know is anyone seeing or perceiving what you've created because it's a part of you. So your subconscious mind is really protecting you and your identification to yourself and whatever you create. You'll probably be able to create for other people. You'll create for the teacher. You'll create for the boss or the company, or you might create for the family or for the husband or the partner. But the chances are your subconscious mind will be protecting you and blocking you from actually your identification, be it however that comes across.
I'm glad you brought up the who gets the credit because that's also where I want to go, but from a slightly different angle. If you are coming up with the ideas, you are what we call a generator. A generator is the one who initiates, finds the concept, starts the ball rolling. Now, a lot of people have challenges actually coming up with an original idea, but you seem to be able to do this. You said a lady at your work took your idea because you tried to share it. And as Yasser explained, you did not get the effect that you were looking for and that you were wanting. It was dismissed. But this woman at your work, she doesn't have it. She takes your idea and creates it as if it was her own. Now, that means that she is not a generator. She's unable to come up with an original idea. One of the problems that generators have is actually organizing it, putting it together, and completing it, finishing it off. It just stays as that idea, as the generation. But this lady's got different patterning to you. She cannot generate, so she has to find an idea that someone else has created. She brings it on board. She fleshes it out. She organizes it. She expands on it. And maybe she's even got the ability to bring it to complete fruition, because when she goes to the boss says, there's an end result. I can see that. I am hearing what you're saying. Whereas when you go to the boss, it's an incomplete concept. And the boss, depending on his subconscious programming, is unable to hear about something that is not fully completed. So that's a possibility as well.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, here's another. I'll bring out some more.
We've got some more people.
Blocks.
Oh, some more blocks.
This pattern is taken from the gestation. It's gestation's divided up into 3 trimesters. First trimester is the generator. So this is, you were wanted, you might have been planned, and the first trimester is good. This is the new trimester. This is the new third. So this is the generator. Then you get into the second trimester. I think I'm going to run out of room here. And this is where you start organizing things with your creation. And this is known to us as the organizer. They're strong in the middle of things, so they organize things. They often use someone else's idea because these organizers often are unable to create their own reality or their own ideas. So these people wait and here's
they look for the opportunity.
Wait for people like this or this to have an idea. And then people who are organizers, which we need organizers, they come along and go, oh, I can do something with that. And the generator just goes, well, I've just generated it. I've come up with the bright idea and got the ball rolling. And the third one is what we know as a destroyer. And what that means, it's a completer. These people here complete the job. These people go halfway, organize halfway through, and these ones start it. Seldom do people have all three. Because as we're in gestation inside mum, there could be a rough time in the middle of this, might be a rough time at the end of it. Mum might have got sick. There might have been a death in the family, whatever. And what happens here, depending on your gestation rhythm, will determine whether you're a starter. Sounds like Robyn's a starter.
It does sound like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, somewhere along the line, Robyn went through and organised herself and actually completed and got shut down.
Yeah, it did not work the way you were hoping.
So the subconscious mind goes, I'll protect you from that, Robyn, and you're going to have it for the rest of your life. You'll only be able to do this one. And we'll organise, or I'll organise someone to come along and take over your task, your job, your idea, so you never ever reach this here again. And it's tricky because this one here is the one that makes the money.
Yeah, and gets the recognition. It's frustrating.
Yeah,
this is a frustrating program, Robyn, and I'm sure there's been times, and you're saying, what am I doing wrong? I can just imagine you sitting there feeling metaphorically like you're pulling your hair out because you're unable to perceive why what you've done has fallen on deaf ears, basically. So anyway,
there's a hint here. It's a woman.
Yep.
So what you do is you have a look into your past.
Doesn't say what the boss is.
No.
I'm not sure if the boss is male or female, but the person who stepped in is definitely a woman.
Have a look where you have an idea. This one here is a woman or a female. See if you're in a home reality, see if you come up with a bright idea and the sister comes in and goes, takes it away. You might come up with a bright idea and you get bullied for it. Have a look for a sister or a female who comes along and supposedly takes over or pinches your idea. That's where the pattern comes.
I would definitely say there's a classmate in here.
Yeah.
Because this is a woman who's working, I guess, in your department or on a similar thing to you, because she's taken an idea that's relevant to your workplace, to your job. She's taken it on board. So someone in your department, however that plays out, that would be somebody in my classroom as a child.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So, well, there you go, Robyn. There's so much. And we do condense the messages we receive just so that we can stick to the core points that are within them. But just in that small amount of information that came from Robyn, there is a heck of a lot of programming going on inside of that. So if this resonates with you and you're feeling unheard in the workplace, at home, in a relationship with your loved ones, wherever else this might be playing out for you, check out the Unheard clearing in the Being Human clearing library. Or if you'd like to do a one-to-one session with us, book yourself a clearing time and we'll go through your subconscious patterning and find exactly what's going on behind the scenes if you're feeling unheard. If you'd like to know more about how your mind works and subconscious programs, then check out the Welcome to Yourself series in our learning library. I'll pop all the links for those beneath. If you've got something going on in your life and you would like us to decode that message and pop it onto pattern people, send us through a message. There's a link on the Pattern People page on our website where you can contact us and send through any ideas that you have. If you know anyone else who has problems being heard, then share this video with them so that they can find out what's going on behind the scenes. And like or subscribe to our YouTube channel if this is resonating with you. Well, that's all for now, and we'll see you next time on the Pattern People. Bye for now.
Cheers.